James arrived on Saturday morning, accompanied by his girlfriend Rebecca, who was visiting his parents' house for the first time, while he had already met her parents. Things were getting more serious between them, and he wanted to make a good impression. He was surprised by the silence in the house. He called out, but there was no answer. He set down the small bags they had in the hallway and, hearing noise coming from the kitchen, headed there, seeing his mother rushing in, laughing, while saying, "You'll have to catch me first, if you want that." His father entered behind her, sweaty and shirtless, suddenly stopping when he saw James and a girl next to him while Marie almost bumped into her son. Alex and Marie looked clearly embarrassed, especially in front of their son's awestruck expression. "For heaven's sake," exclaimed James. "Get a room." "Well, that's where we were going," Alex couldn't help himself, winking at Marie, who burst into laughter. Alex quickly put on the shirt he was holding while Marie composed herself, all under the amused gaze of Rebecca and the incredulous look of James. Good impression out of the window. Since their son remained somewhat frozen, Marie introduced herself to Rebecca, followed by Alex, and they welcomed her. The day went by without further incidents, although Rebecca commented at night while sounds echoed through the house, "Your parents are quite active for their age." "Yes, apparently," replied James with a bored expression, but secretly happy to see his parents like that after the storm. The next day, Patricia arrived with Joshua around lunchtime, curious to meet her brother's girlfriend. They sat at the living room table, ate, socialized, enjoyed dessert, and were drinking coffee when Alex said, "Well, we have some news for you." Everyone stared at him, but it was Marie who continued, looking particularly at the children, "You're going to have a brother." James, who had just lifted his cup, dropped it, and although it didn't break, he spilled coffee on the table, interrupting the conversation with the need to clean up. After they cleaned up the mess, Patricia was the first to ask, "How did that happen? You've got a bun in the oven." "You must have some idea of how it got there," replied their mother with a smile. "But you're pregnant?" asked James. "No," Marie answered with a laugh as if it was the most ridiculous idea in the world. "So?" Patricia asked. It was Alex who answered. "Paola is pregnant." Everyone fell silent, thinking about the implications of what he had just said. However, they looked at their mother, who had a smile from ear to ear, and it was difficult to understand. "Your father found out this week. He talked to me. Paola doesn't want a child in her life but is willing to carry the pregnancy to term. And I'm going to be a mom again," she said with a sparkle in her eyes, looking at her daughter, probably right after becoming a grandmother. They spent the rest of the afternoon at the table explaining everything, and by mid-afternoon, everyone was excited about having yet another baby in the family. By the end of the afternoon, James and Rebecca had to leave and go back to campus. "Your parents are strange," Rebecca said after a while. "Well, they weren't, but they are starting to become." "I like them," Rebecca replied with a smile.